Yes, people, how's it going? Welcome back to Lily White Lane. Welcome along to your day after show after Tottenham Hotspur's abysmal loss to West Ham in the Premier League yesterday. Spurs did suffer a defeat, a 1-0 defeat, but look, that doesn't tell the story of how pathetic and bad Spurs were. And look, the reason I'm doing this day after show is to really put all my and your thoughts into perspective, really, as, you know, we've all had a day as fans to take it in, to not go out there ranting and raving, to actually properly discuss what the issue is at the club. So look, the title of the video says it. Is it all down to Nuno, or is there more to this? Is there more to this than just blaming Nuno? Because, you know, the fan base's reaction to this is very, very divided. You go on Twitter and you see some people just Enoch out, Enoch out, Enoch out. You see other people, Nuno out, Nuno out, Nuno out. You see other people, it's the players, it's the players, it's the players. Now look, you can say I'm sitting on the fence, but I don't look at it from that perspective. I think all three of those factors contribute to why Spurs aren't doing as well as they should be doing right now. I think all three factors contribute to it. And I think if you're going to go out there and just say it's all down to Nuno out, it's all Nuno's fault, then I think you need to wake up and smell the coffee. Honestly, I really do. I don't think you can pinpoint everything on Nuno Espirito Santo. A manager is only as good as his players. And the reason we have such bad quality of players is because of Enoch. That comment right there, that sentence links together all three contributing factors to why we're struggling at the minute. And look, it really is frustrating. We'll start off with Nuno, right? I'm still Nuno in. I still think he can be the right man. I do think he's a very talented manager. He proved it at Wolves. I do rate Nuno Espirito Santo. I really do rate him. A lot of people really slating him, and I can understand. Right? I can half understand why. Yesterday he waited till the 83rd minute to make a substitution. Why? How? I can't understand. I can't understand why you'd wait till the 83rd minute when you conceded 10 minutes beforehand from a corner, when you know, defended pathetically and been nowhere near good enough throughout the game, when you needed an impact player to come off the bench, why you didn't bring them on. I can't understand that. And at the same time, his tactics and style of football right now is not good enough. It's far too defensive, far too defensive, far too slow, far too sloppy. And then you move on from Nuno to the players and you say the players are sloppy as well. You know, Nuno can't control what goes on the pitch. It's not his, you know, sort of place to control what goes on the pitch. He's not the one back in goal like he, you know, like he was in his footballing career. He's just there on the sidelines giving instructions. And it seems to me like a lot of the players aren't following these instructions. I don't think Nuno would tell Harry Kane to just be boring and stand round and not care for the club and not win corners, would he? So is that down to Nuno? Is Harry Kane not winning the corner and not jumping up for it and fighting, you know, hence the fact we concede a goal a minute after? Is that down to Nuno? Is that Nuno's fault that Harry Kane couldn't be asked to jump up? Is it Nuno's fault that Højbjerg didn't do a good enough job yesterday? Is it Nuno's fault that Reguilón and Royal was sloppy? Do you reckon he told them to lose the bloody ball? He didn't. But then, you know, the players weren't good enough. But then again, you can pinpoint it on Nuno again for making the wrong substitutions and utilising the players in the wrong way. So you've got both of those contributing factors, right? And then you get onto the main one that links them both together, and for me is the main reason why we are not succeeding at this very moment. And that is Enoch. That is Daniel Levy, that is Joe Lewis, and that is these parasites who run our club. These parasites who run our club. And I'll explain to you the reason why. I'll explain to you the reason why it does boil down to them, right? Players aren't good enough. Why are the players not good enough? Because Enoch haven't invested in the players. Mauricio Pochettino, Enoch didn't even back Pochettino. We had two or three summers without spending any money, without spending anything. That's absolutely pathetic. 3 summer windows without spending a penny. So Pochettino had to work hard for the money, invest that money into smaller players that he brought through. The only reason Pochettino was successful at Tottenham Hotspur was because Pochettino is a fantastic manager. It's nothing to do with ENIC's fantastic work as owners of the football club, right? That's the only reason Mauricio Pochettino was successful in his tenure at Tottenham Hotspur. And then you say, okay, you know, have we fallen off so much? How 3 years ago were we with the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and now we are nowhere near them, and that is down to ENIC. Because you look at Man City, you look at Liverpool, you look at Chelsea, they're investing in a squad. They're not investing in a team. Our first 11 is nothing compared to theirs. And this is potentially why, and this is how it links in to Nuno as well. You know, this is how ENIC links into both the players and Nuno, and how I do believe ENIC are the big cause here. Or the main cause, I should say. Right, these players are not good enough. They're not good enough at all at the club right now. And as I say, 3-4 years ago, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, we were on their level. United after yesterday. I won't go into that. This isn't a United or Liverpool channel. But anyway, we were on the same level as those. And the reason we've dropped off is because ENIC haven't invested the money in the past few years. We've had managers in and out shaking it all about like no one's business. With Jose Mourinho, Pochettino being sacked, Jose coming in, and now Nuno. So the players can't settle. The players, and this is where you can back up the players a little bit. The players can't settle because they're all over the place. They don't know. They can't understand the club's future. They can't understand where the club's going. They can't understand what the club want to do. But then at the same time, you're asking Nuno to make a substitution in the 83rd minute against West Ham. Who's he going to bring on? Harry Winks? Brian Hill? We've invested too much in the future than the now. And that's the issue. Because ENIC employed Nuno. ENIC employed Nuno, right? I still rate Nuno, but he was our 6th choice manager. 6th choice manager. We went for 6 other managers before him. And now he's stuck at Spurs. And the reason he can't bring someone on, off the bench to win a game is because of ENIC. And this shows how far we've fallen behind the rest of the clubs. In these past few years, Chelsea, Liverpool, City have been investing in their squad. They've brought in the likes of, for example, Chelsea, Werner, Havertz, these sorts of players. Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus, Ake, those sorts of players. Liverpool, they've brought in a lot of players. They've brought in a lot of players. Liverpool, the likes of Shaqiri, Jota, these sorts of players that can come off the bench and make an impact. And in this time where ENIC haven't invested, we've fallen off so much that we don't have the money because we can't earn it, because we're chopping and changing managers constantly, that we don't have a good enough squad. So who's Nuno meant to bring on when he's got Harry Winks, Brian Hill and those sorts of players on the bench with Davinson Sanchez? It's because we have not invested in the team as much as the other clubs have. And that is why our bench is not good enough. Because other clubs are above us. Chelsea need an impact player. You can bring on a Havertz amount. Liverpool need a backup, a big player to come off the bench and win them the game. Naby Keita can come on. Bobby Firmino on the bench when Jota's starting. These sorts of teams. Manchester United, Jadon Sancho, these sorts of players are on those bench. Who have we got on our bench? Davinson Sanchez, a bunch of youngsters, and a couple decent players. Because ENIC haven't invested in the team enough. They haven't invested in the squad. They've invested too much in the future and done it the wrong way. So we can't take people off the bench to make an impact because ENIC haven't invested. We haven't got to invest in the squad. We're not on that same level as those sorts of teams where we've got a good enough 17, 18 players where both teams would win the league. I reckon our second team together will get relegated down to about... I reckon they go down to League One. Honest to God, I reckon they go down to League One. It's that pathetic, it's that bad, and it's that frustrating, right? So frustrating. But as I say there, ENIC are the big cause. Nuno was the 6th choice, yet there's so much pressure on his shoulders he can't handle it. That's because of ENIC's tough negotiations. Who's he meant to bring off the bench? Who's he meant to bring off the bench when he's got these rubbish players? That is down to ENIC not investing in the top players. The players don't have the confidence because of ENIC's strategy and what they want to do moving forward. And the players are all over the shop. The players aren't good enough because the players we sign are down to ENIC's budget. And that, my friends, is why it's ENIC's fault. But look, this is just my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. And as always, come on you Spurs. ENIC out.